What's up, guys? I was totally meaning to film everything that I was doing just now. I had to weld up some brackets this morning for my Black Friday sale and get those shipped out. So I stopped off and got some oil and stuff to take care of the Cummins, and I was gonna film all of it, and I forgot my camera, and then I started changing the oil and realized, oh wait, I still don't have my camera. So as you guys can see, there's the old oil is drained off in there. I am adding some new oil right now. But let me change the oil in it, and then we'll kind of just do a basic overlook of the truck so you guys can get a better idea of what it is. Nothing too fancy, but I've been getting a lot of questions, and I just want to get them squared away. Say hi, Talon.
What's up?
Talon got a new drone, guys.
Yeah.
Might have some drone footage from Talon, our drone flyer.
Yeah. If I don't crash it.
If you don't crash it. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm getting distracted, guys.
I was trying to get like aerial of the 240 when I flew over there.
So the hardest part is obviously cropping out the legs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And getting the right camera angle, flying it.
Yeah.
Hey look, there's you in Maui.
That's pretty sick. Perfect.
Yeah?
And I know, from what everyone tells me, that they're hard to fly.
Dude, they're bitch to fly. Oh, there you go. Here's where I was.
Don't worry, guys. There's 11 quarts in there. I know you only saw me pouring like 1.5, but 1, 2, 3. Oil's in there, guys. I ended up using about 11.5 quarts. Cummins manual calls for 11. I was wanting to get this oil pressure up just a little bit, and I do believe I accomplished that. It didn't seem like it was low when I drained it, maybe half a quart low. Now it's moving up. Perfect. That's good. Well, while I have her out here and I have the camera recording, I might as well do a little walk around for you. A lot of people have messaged me on Instagram, and including the comments on YouTube, people have just asked about the truck. So let's go over it really quick. As you can see, it is a single cab dually truck. I want to say these are 410s. I've already checked the hood, under the hood, the sticker, and it's kind of faded. So, and obviously you guys can see that while I was driving, but I looked up this sticker and it's kind of gone. I can maybe try to get another look at it with a flashlight, but I want to say it has 410s. It's a 94, so it's got the drum brakes in the rear. It is two-wheel drive. This is one of the most popular questions. It rides so much nicer than a four-wheel drive. That mean you were bros, dude. We're two-wheel drive bros.
It rides so much better.
It rides so much better. But it's a really, really clean truck. I hope it's not too dark under here. Usually the steering box is soaking wet with a bunch of crud all over it. It's pretty dry. You can see a little bit of the cross member here. It's a little wet, but for what I paid for it, I am not complaining at all. Oil pan, typical Cummins. If it doesn't have a little bit of oil around the oil pan, then does it even have oil in it? That's the question. It's missing my cap. That pissed me off too. I noticed it like when I stopped at the gas station. I was like, wait a minute, am I missing a freaking hubcap? Maybe I'll just paint these wheels black. Plasti dip them?
Yeah.
So my end goal, a lot of people have asked me, I don't really have anything in particular, but I want to do a 4th gen bumper swap. The sport grille, obviously. I'd like to take away a little bit of that wheel gap. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Any two-wheel drive Cummins guys, please let me know. These are holes from the old mirror. I will weld a plate on the backside of those and then bondo those up and then sand them smooth. And then this needs to be taken care of. This giant wheel gap. It's got a nice spare back here. I'm a little butthurt that it doesn't have blocks. I was just gonna pull the blocks out, but man, guess I'm gonna need some drop shackles. So when I ran the VIN number, this truck was originally a cab and chassis. You guys can tell that it was red. You can see behind the bed. The bed was all along the backside of the cab is red. And then the bed itself is white, so this definitely came off another truck. I don't know if the guy had a flatbed on it or if he just ran it as a cab and chassis. I couldn't imagine trying to tow everywhere with this thing with just a cab and chassis. That'd be annoying. It's got 231,000 miles. The previous owner put these new headlights in there, new cab lights. He did these little running lights here on the side of the bed. And then he also put these tail lights in here. Brand new tires. Those are good. Brand new tires up front. Definitely a good starting point for a project. If somebody's wanting to do a Cummins project, this is definitely where it's at. Keep your eye on Facebook Market, because this is where I found this one. The dashboard is gone. Be careful, you might fall in there and then end up in space somewhere. Center console, oh yeah, there's the piece. Oh, that was hilarious. Perfect timing. So there's the radio he gave me to put in the truck. As you can see, I took the radio out and I took out the cup holder. The radio's sitting in that bucket over here. There's the cup holders. They're still good, but it's the dashboard part itself that's not.
You sure?
That's gross.
Yeah.
Here's the radio. There's the radio in there. Yeah. And it just clicked. It just kept clicking, the little cassette thing, so I took it out this morning. But that is that, guys. Nothing too crazy. I don't really want to paint it. Like I said in the last video, it takes a lot of effort to, have somewhere to do the initial paint work and do it right. Every time I paint something, it's been like in a shop or outdoors, and I really want a paint job in like an actual paint booth, so it comes out 100%. I might just sand this one down, and since somebody spray painted it with spray paint, rattle can paint, I don't really know how well a base coat would adhere to something like this, because I don't know what paint he used, if that makes sense. Usually you can use like a filler primer and that will work with a base coat, but some of this like cheap spray paint will bleed through the chemicals in this compared to the base. I don't know like the correct terminology, but I know that it will lift the paint and bleed through. So I might just sand it down. I have red wrap coming for my 240, and I'm not planning on wrapping my entire 240, so I might start with like the roof and the hood and then maybe a door and a fender, see how I like the look, and then maybe wrap the entire thing. I might bring back the gold. Everyone asks for the gold, but if I bring back the gold, I need some nice wheels, and that's just money that I don't really want to spend on this truck, because that's 240 money. I went ahead and pulled off the intake hose here for the turbo just to check the shaft play, and it's so stock that it even has the silencing ring in it still, which is nuts, and the little snap ring. It's not a very common thing. I might end up pulling that out and being that guy. Turn the pump up, take the silencing ring out. Let's go roll some coals, Bo. 2, 1. As you guys can see, it is a new day. Me and Talon got a little carried away with flying the drone that he brought over. As you guys saw in the last clip, I was showing you guys around with my truck, and then he started messing with the drone flying it right here, and then we ended up bringing it to the field across the way and just kind of messing around flying that thing. It's a lot of fun. He's definitely good at flying at it. Hopefully we can get some cool footage of like the 240 or something with it. But anyways, today we're going to be doing a lockup switch on my 94 Ram. The 12 valve here, I've got everything taken apart. But TST has a little product write-up. This is virtually free. All you have to do is buy wire and a switch. But I need to pop off this little cover off the PCM. Once I pop that off, I can check pin 54. There's an orange wire with a black stripe it runs over. Now in 94, 95, there's not a relay over here. 95 and a half to I think 97 and a half, 98, they had a relay for the auto trucks that you were supposed to jump with a jumper wire. But all the 94, 95 requires is you splicing into the PCM, into that orange with the black wire stripe on there, and then you're supposed to ground the switch out somewhere into your cab to a 12-volt ground. So I think I'm just going to run mine back up to my battery to make my life easier, and it's kind of just, you know, safe running it there. A lot of people do it to the back of their radio or like to the lights inside the cab, but my dashboard might fall apart because, you know, it's a Dodge. So all I did was just pick up a cheap, I don't know, $4 or $5 switch. Nothing too cheap and crappy, so that, you know, way it doesn't burn up or take the crap on me, and then obviously some just Autocraft wire from Advanced Auto. What I'm going to do is pop off that little cover. Once that cover is popped off, I'm going to find the wire, and then I'll show you guys kind of what you're supposed to do, because you're not supposed to cut the wire. So let me get that little cover off, and then I'll find the wire and show you guys really quick. $56, $55, and then you guys can see, probably not because my head's in the way. Yeah, you definitely can't. Sorry guys. New camera fail. You can see this orange and black wire right there. If it'll focus. See it? That's better. You guys can actually see the 60. You just count that down over to 54, and we're gonna strip back the coating of that wire. We're not gonna cut the wire, but we're just gonna strip back the coating, and then we're going to tie that white wire in, and then run that to a switch, and then run from the switch to a 12-volt ground, which is gonna be here on my battery. So let me get a razor blade and kind of just pick these wires apart, so that way I can get that one and not have to worry about cutting any of the other wires, and then we'll go from there. So like I said earlier, from 60 you want to count over. Obviously you're counting down to 54, and as you guys can see, I have 54 pulled out from the rest of the wires here. Again, I'm going to repeat it. Make sure it's 54 and do not cut this wire. There are other orange and black wires, but you want 54, alright? I'm going to get a razor blade, I'm going to strip it back a little bit, and I'll show you guys after that. As you can see there, I've got that wire stripped back. It's not cut, just stripped. I just took a little razor blade and did that. I've got some of my white wire here. This is ran across the engine bay. I'm going to run it through the firewall, down through one of those little grommets there, run it in here, and I think I'm going to do my switch next to my OD button, because that's supposed to be fog light. I'll just do the switch there. I'll run it up underneath the dashboard, and then run a ground back out to the battery. So it's pretty simple, guys. It costs little to nothing. So if you're having OD issues, the truck's not locking up, give this a try. The 94, 95, since it's hydraulic, the 47 RH, this is the little cheap fix that you can do to get it to lock up from third to fourth. Wish me luck. Before I get ahead of myself, I wanted to check in and show you guys that I'm running my ground wire here. You can see it's ran through. It's not touched just yet. I was just showing you running through the cab with that white wire. It's all right here. What I'm going to do is cut them off evenly, put the switch on it, go take it for a test drive and see if it works. If it works, then I'm going to go ahead and mount the switch. But I don't want to go crazy mounting stuff and then realize, hey, it's not even working. So let me tuck up these wires just a little bit more, and then we'll go do some test driving. Everything's ran through, wires are grounded, ran up to my switch here. I have it in the off position as of right now. When I hit it into the on position, that is when the lockup will engage, and I'm going to be doing that between third and fourth gear, and then fourth gear itself, hopefully it'll lock up. So I've got you guys over here on a mount. I don't know how well it's going to hold up, like vibration wise, and I don't know how well I'm going to be able to like get a good angle without it falling over. So I'm going to try to film it. If not, I will just tell you guys afterwards, or try to film it while I'm driving. I know it's kind of reckless, but let me get this thing mounted up, and then we'll go for a test drive. lockup switch definitely works, guys. We're at 60 miles an hour, right under 2,500 RPMs. Before, I was at like 2,600 RPMs at 65-ish, 60-ish. There we go. It's a little high for my liking, but I definitely can tell the difference. I let off. The switch is on. Back into it. I'm gonna turn the switch off. Let out of it. There we go. Heck yeah. That's definitely a little bit better. Maybe I should pay attention to the road now. My dualies and just going off the road onto the rumble strips. I'll see you guys when I get to the house. We are back at the garage. The truck did all right. It is locking up. I went ahead and mounted my switch next to my overdrive switch. Nothing fancy, but it'll do the job. I've got the wires ran up over the steering wheel column and then up to the switch behind the dash. So it's nothing too crazy, but it'll definitely do the job. She kind of seemed like she was still searching for overdrive. I'm going to do some more research. If you guys have anything that you want to, I don't know, just give me some advice or drop a comment below. Let me know what you think that it could possibly be. I know there's a couple different things that are a possibility with these 12 valves, and I'm pretty new to the automatic, so if you guys could let me know, just drop something below and we can go from there. I'm going to be wrapping up the video here, guys. I wanted to do a basic overview of the dually, kind of give you guys an idea of what we're working with, what the truck looks like, what the 12 valve looks like, the whole 9 yards. I also wanted to do that oil change and the lockup switch. Those were one of the biggest things that I wanted to do. So I'm going to turn my time to my 240 right now. I want to start mocking up my handbrake system. It's all over there, the hydro and the dual calipers. And I also have some plugs that I want to do in the car. Again, I know the car runs a little rich, so I want to change out the plugs and see if that's going to clear up a little bit. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I have a ton of plans for the Cummins. It's just whether I get the time to do it, the money, and figuring out what's going on with the transmission. That's pretty much my biggest concern at the moment, is getting that thing squared away. Besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I don't really have anything else for you, so if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We're going up in subscribers slowly but surely. We're almost at like 15,500, which is crazy. If you guys are a returning subscriber, drop a comment below. Let me know how you're doing. If you guys have any advice for the automatic, what to check, what to do about this overdrive thing. I know an overdrive solenoid, and then I know I guess there's a throttle positioning cable or something to that sort that can sometimes come out of adjustment, and the truck won't go into overdrive. So if you guys are familiar with this stuff, 47RH, just let me know, and we can definitely get this thing sorted out. Take it easy, guys. Later.